The most haunted places in Appalachia that will terrify you. What if I told you that deep in the mountains of Appalachia, there are places so haunted even locals refuse to go near them after dark? We're not talking about internet creepypasta. We're talking about real prisons filled with executions. A cave where a spirit allegedly killed a man. A ghost that testified in court. Strange lights no one can explain. And creatures in the woods that don't quite look like deer, but aren't human either. Appalachia stretches from southern New York all the way down to northern Alabama. It's one of the oldest mountain ranges on Earth, older than the Rockies, older than most civilizations. And when land is that old, people start to believe it remembers things. Tonight, we're diving into the most haunted places in Appalachia. Let's begin. First, the West Virginia Penitentiary in Moundsville. Built in 1876, this massive Gothic-style prison looks more like a medieval castle than a correctional facility. But what happened inside those stone walls was far darker than its architecture. Over 100 executions were carried out here. Hangings, the electric chair, violent riots, brutal inmate murders, solitary confinement in coffin-like cells. By the time it closed in 1995, decades of suffering had soaked into the building. Today, visitors report hearing whispers in empty cell blocks. Doors slam on their own. Cold spots form in the execution chamber. Shadow figures pace the upper tiers long after closing time. Some say the old execution room, nicknamed the Sugar Shack, still carries the energy of the condemned. Paranormal investigators call it one of the most active haunted prisons in America. And locals? Many refuse to step inside at night. Next, we travel to Adams, Tennessee, home of the Bell Witch Cave. In the early 1800s, the Bell family claimed they were terrorized by an unseen entity. It spoke to them, screamed at them, physically attacked them, pulled blankets off beds, slapped children. The spirit identified itself as Kate. It claimed it would kill John Bell, the father of the family. After weeks of torment, John Bell mysteriously fell ill and died in 1820. The entity reportedly vanished soon after. Even more chilling, future President Andrew Jackson allegedly visited the Bell property and fled after experiencing violent disturbances. Today, people visiting the cave report growling sounds from deep within, rocks thrown from nowhere, sudden dizziness, electronic equipment malfunctioning. Whether folklore or something darker, the legend of the Bell Witch remains one of the most famous hauntings in American history. Now let's head back to West Virginia, to the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. Opened in 1864, it was originally built to house 250 patients. At its peak, it held more than 2,400. Overcrowding was extreme. Patients were restrained for long periods. Experimental procedures were common. Hygiene was poor. Thousands died within its walls. Today, it stands as one of the largest hand-cut stone buildings in North America. Visitors report footsteps echoing in empty hallways, doors locking by themselves, apparitions staring from upper windows, and a child spirit investigators have nicknamed Lily. Psychics claim the building feels heavy, as if the emotional trauma never left. At night, when fog rolls across the property, the massive structure looks less like a hospital and more like something watching you. Next, the Sensabaugh Tunnel in Tennessee. It's just a short railroad tunnel near Kingsport. Nothing unusual at first glance. But legend says a man murdered his entire family near the tunnel before taking his own life. Since then, locals report hearing children crying in the dark, a baby screaming, disembodied laughter, footsteps following them inside. Some claim their cars refuse to start after parking nearby. Teenagers dare each other to drive through it at night. But many don't stay long, because the deeper you walk into that tunnel, the more the outside world fades away. And sometimes you hear something walking behind you. Now for a haunting that made it into a courtroom. In 1897, in Greenbrier County, West Virginia, a woman named Zona Heaster Shue died suddenly. Her husband claimed it was natural causes. But Zona's mother insisted her daughter's ghost appeared to her 4 nights in a row, revealing she had been murdered. The body was exhumed. An autopsy revealed her neck had been broken. Her husband was arrested and convicted. The case became known as the Greenbrier Ghost, the only documented U.S. case where ghost testimony reportedly helped secure a conviction. To this day, visitors say they feel watched near her grave. Now we move to North Carolina, the mysterious Brown Mountain Lights. For over 200 years, glowing orbs have been seen hovering over Brown Mountain in the Blue Ridge region. They appear suddenly, float silently, split into multiple lights, then vanish. Scientists investigated them in the early 1900s. The U.S. Geological Survey even conducted studies. No clear explanation was agreed upon. Some believe they are ghost lights from Native American spirits. Others think they are lanterns carried by grieving widows searching for lost loved ones. And some believe they aren't ghosts at all, just something unexplained. Finally, one of the strangest Appalachian legends, the Not Deer. Across Kentucky, West Virginia, and Tennessee, locals speak quietly about deer that aren't quite deer. Their legs bend wrong, they stand upright, they stare too long, they don't run when approached. Hunters have reported animals that mimic human behavior, creatures that watch from tree lines, deer that seem aware. Appalachian folklore runs deep. Many stories are warnings passed down for generations. And in small mountain towns, these aren't jokes, they're cautions. Appalachia is ancient land, older than the Rockies, older than most civilizations. Mountains worn smooth by time, and maybe when land has seen that much history, it holds on to things. From haunted prisons to ghost testimony in court. From unexplained mountain lights to creatures in the woods. The mountains are quiet, but they are not empty. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the most haunted places in Appalachia, make sure you subscribe for more dark history, unexplained mysteries, and stories they don't teach in school. And tell me in the comments, would you visit any of these places after dark? Or are some doors better left unopened? I'll see you in the next one.